Good morning.
Morning, guys. Welcome to WRME Live. Finally, not as hot. I'm still cold, but it's nice that it's not so hot. It's not so awkward to wear blue jeans and sweat through your blue jeans while also being cold. It just, going from our office is pleasantly an ice block to outside in the truck where you're just sweating. It's nice that it's not as drastic right now.
I don't sweat when I go from in here to outside. But,
Good for you. I'm new to this being cold all the time. Jazz. It's all the process. And fall, I think, is officially here.
I don't know.
I think it's official. If I'm the season police, I say it's official. And it kind of makes you think about all the stuff we need to be doing as kind of end-of-year home care. One of the things I end up doing is as soon as it's cool enough, I open up my house. Every window in the house, every curtain, and get some fresh air in there. I especially like to do that after there's been a sickness in the house, just trying to get some of that yick out and doing a good deep clean. I know a lot of my ancestors would, every spring and every fall, head to toe, deep clean of the house. I don't know if I'm that dedicated.
Something people don't think about is the AC zone.
We turned on the heater because it was starting to get so cold, and we forgot to turn it off before the show. Buzzed.
So, one thing people don't think about, especially if you have animals in the house,
It adds
is
up.
cleaning your curtains.
You really
Not
should
just
dust
dust
off.
them, but
Give them a wash.
give them a wash.
If they can be washed, give them a wash. If they can't be, I highly recommend you drape them over your car and let them air out. Now, some people have clothesline, some people have like line dryers where they can do that. Just beat them a little bit, because I know, like my grandmother, she has very nice, specifically made curtains. She can't do that. She takes them off and she airs them out, and because it just goes a long way to get some of that built up allergen out of your house. If you aren't like my grandmother and you're more like me, take them off, throw them in the wash, run them, do whatever the drying instructions are, and then as soon as they're ready, put them back up. But get it, because fabrics absorb things. There's a reason that if you have allergy problems, they highly recommend you vacuum your sofa cushions or your pillows a certain amount of time to get what has been collected in it out. It just collects with time. So this is an excellent time before the snow comes and everything's shut up and you can't air it out because it's snowing or too cold or whatever your reason is. Now's the time to do a little bit of prep work to improve the quality of life when we have to shut ourselves back up again. And it just goes a long way. Heat and air. If you've got the spare cash, I highly recommend you consider having it serviced. I want to say one of the companies we use is like a flat $99. And then if something needs to be taken care of, they'll let you know and you get the choice of, hey, we notice your freon's low, or we notice this needs to be addressed, or your thermostat's acting up, to take care of it. It costs X. I would rather know about it before my heater goes out mid-snowstorm.
Recommend servicing your heat and air at least once a year. Either fall or right before winter or summer starts. So in spring.
Spring or fall. But minimum of once a year. Now, if you guys have air filters, which pretty much every system in Oklahoma would have an air filter based, you got to change that routinely. If you got pets, it's once a month. If you don't have pets, it can be every 3 to 4 months. If you're like, I shed. I have enough animals that I have to change it out monthly, but because I myself, this doesn't stand, I know that thing's going to be clogged up with my genetic DNA. It needs to be done minimum once a month. And you're welcome to talk to the heat and air guy and see which kind of filter is best for your house. Because I remember speaking to someone, and he's like, yeah, don't buy the super thick one. Because for your amount of pets, the amount of dander, it's going to be harder on your system to pull air because you're going to clog it up by that 1 month point, and it's going to cost you more energy. That was my scenario. That was what is advised for me. They actually suggested like the lower end stuff that were thinner because of all the stuff in my house, but that was what was best for me. And now I'm not spending near as much on air filters, and I have noticed that my air conditioning unit is not struggling as much towards the end of the month to try and funnel air through. So that's what's worked best for me, and I had to talk to a professional to find that out.
Well, and another thing that people don't think about on the older houses, if you have floor vents.
Oh gosh, yes.
you might need to have a professional company come in and clean those. If you're getting dirt and everything else, and it's not even because your vents down there are cracked or damaged, it's just stuff coming in from off the floors and life and everything else. So if you're having a lot of problem with your system, have somebody come out and check and clean them.
And they are still out there. There are technicians that still take care of floor furnaces. And there's a lot of...
furnace, just floor vents.
Floor vents? Okay, my apologies. I thought you said floor furnace.
No, because not all vents are in the ceiling. Some of the older houses have the floor vents.
Actually, a lot of slab houses have the floor vents.
It just depends on age, too.
And I remember one of the houses I grew up in, it had sand by the front door from just... The wind would come in, we'd sweep it up and clean it, but it just went down the vent. And with time, we had to take the shop vac and clean it out. And I guess inadvertently, I mentioned floor furnaces. If you don't have central heat and air, you still use a floor furnace, you can have that serviced. And I highly recommend it. It's just good care. And if this thing has been a wonderful thing that takes care and heats your house, spend a little bit of money and help it continue to heat and take care of your house. And there are technicians out there that can still take care of them. They're not that antiquated to where they aren't being... You might have to do some hunting, you might have to call around, but they are still out there as of, I want to say 2 months ago when we had to have someone service one of the rental properties furnace. So as of 2 months ago, they were still existing. And just little things like that just add up and will make your winter that much more... I guess less stressful. It's more less stressful. Good English. And it will add up. It will be one less thing to worry about. One more thing before we part. Check your door seals. Because I found out the hard way last winter. I had to tape my front door shut because apparently it has such a big draft around it that it was just cooling down the whole house from one door not having a proper weather stripping around it. So now's a good time to be looking for light around your doors or feeling for air around your doors so you can hopefully put that little bit of stripping in from Lowe's. You figure out how big the gap is, bring out your little ruler and go, it's a 1/2 inch. Go down the Lowe's, pick it up, put it in. I'm not asking you to retrim your door or get a new storm door. Just simple weather stripping can make it that much more pleasant as we get closer to the snowmageddon that we're bound to have. I like snowmageddons, but I don't like not having electricity or water. That sucked a lot. May I never go back. May you never go back. But in the meantime, we could talk all day. Well, anything else to add?
No.
I've done enough talking for everyone. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us today. We are WRME Live, where we do real life, real world real estate every day.
Bye.